So good day everyone, I am Jenelyn Banquil, a third-year student at Mindanao State University Boog campus with the degree of BSA Agronomy. So this day I'm going to discuss agricultural marketing concept and definition. Agriculture. So when we talk about agriculture, it is generally meant growing or raising of crops and livestock. And also, miyon tag agriculture mo ni ang mo-fulfill sa mga basic need of humankind by producing food. And next is agricultural marketing. So when you talk about agricultural marketing, it composed of two words, agriculture and marketing. Sa akong gingon kaganina, kung miyon ta og agriculture, it means growing and or raising of crops and livestock, whereas miyon ta og marketing, it encompasses a series of activities, and these activities involve in moving the goods from the point of production to the point of consumption. Then when we talk about agricultural marketing, it comprises all the operations and the agencies conducting them involved in the movement of produced food to the final consumers. And also, miyon ta og agricultural marketing, mo na siya ang process which starts with the decision to produce a sellable farm commodity, and it involves all the aspects of market structure or STEM, both financial and institutional. So next is the characteristic of agricultural products and production. The subject of agricultural marketing has been treated as separate discipline because agricultural commodities possess special characteristics than manufactured commodities. The special characteristics of agricultural commodities are given below. Perishability of the product, seasonality of production, bulkiness of products, variation in quality of products, irregular supply of agricultural products, and the last one is irregular supply of agricultural products. So these are the characteristics of agricultural products and production. So first is the perishability of the product. So miyon ta og perishability of the product. It is most farm products are perishable in nature. So therefore ang mga products ani cannot be stored in a long period of time because it varies from few hours to a few months. And also the more perishable products, so ang kanani is more ang cost of marketing. So next is the seasonality of the production. So mingon tag seasonality of production, ang farm products are produced in a particular season of the year. So therefore, ang mga farmers ani is they cannot be produced throughout the year. So in the harvest season, ang prices of farm products is bumababa, but the supply of manufactured products can be adjusted or made uniform throughout the year. So and the third one is the bulkiness of products. So miyon tag bulkiness of products, the characteristics sa bulkiness of most farm products makes their transportation and storage difficult and expensive. So ang price most spread in bulky products, and and become higher. It's just because of the higher cost of transportation, handling, and the storage. Then next is the variation in quality of product. So mayroon ta og variation in quality of product. Ang the supply there is a large variation in the quality of agricultural products, in which makes the grading o ang standardization somewhat difficult. Then there is no such problem in manufactured goods. It's just because they can be produced of uniform quality. Then the last one is irregular supply of agricultural products. So may tag irregular supply of agricultural products. The supply of agricultural products is uncertain and irregular. Nganong uncertain o irregular man, it's just because of the dependence of the agricultural production on natural condition. And number 6 is the small size of holding and scattered production. So may tag small size of holding and scattered production. Farm products ani are produced throughout the length and breadth of the country, and most the producers are of small size. So next is the product pricing. So may tag products so ingon ta og product pricing. It is man siya ang process that entails the translations of product value into quantitative terms. So ang pricing decision ani is usually made before its initial release to the market, and however ang mga businesses can change the selling price at any point of a variety of seasons. So next is the processing. So niingon ta og processing most of farm products need some kind of processing before consumption by the ultimate consumers. In fact, ang processing function through add value is mo increase ni siya sa price spread of agricultural commodities. Then processing firms enjoy the advantages of monopsony, oligopsony, or duopoly in the market. So in fact, ang processing muna siya the processing function is mo add ni siya value nga mo increase sa price spread of agricultural commodities. So kaning most of farm products nagkinahanglan jud siya og some kind of processing before consumption by the ultimate consumer. So next is the problems in agricultural marketing in India, where in fact kini nga mga problems in agricultural marketing in India dili lang ni sa India na encounter but also sa atoang country. So Indian system of agricultural marketing suffers from a number of defects. As a consequence, the Indian farmer is deprived of a fair price for his produce. The main defects of the agricultural marketing system are discussed here. So there are 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there are 7 problems in agricultural marketing in India. So first, improper warehouses. So miingon ta og improper warehouses. So there is an absence of proper warehousing facilities in the villages. So therefore, ang mga farmers ani are not able to get a fair price for this further produce because of the improper warehouses. So next is the lack of grading and standardization. So may lack of grading and standardization, ang mga agricultural produce ani are not graded properly. So ang mga farmer, so thus the farmer producing better qualities is not assured for a better price. So hence, there is no incentive to use better seeds and produce better varieties. So money usap ni siya sa problems in agricultural marketing in India. So next is the presence of a large number of middlemen. So the chain of middlemen in the agricultural marketing is so large that the share of farmer is reduced substantially. Then some of the intermediaries in the agricultural marketing systems are village traders, brokers, wholesalers, retailers, money lenders, and etc. So usa ni siya sa problems in agricultural marketing. So next is the malpractices in unregulated market. So mayroon malpractices in unregulated markets is even now the number of unregulated markets in the country is substantially large. Then ang mga arhatiyas o ang brokers ani ay nagtaking advantage of the ignorance and the illiteracy of the farmers. The use ang mga arhatiyas ang brokers ani are use unfair means to cheat them. Then and also ang mga another malpractice in the mandis relates to the use of wrong weights and measures in the regulated markets. Then wrong weights continue to be used in some unregulated markets which the object of cheating the farmers. So mapo ni siya ang usa sa problems in agricultural marketing. So next is the inadequate market information. So may inadequate market information, it is often not possible for farmers to obtain information on exact market prices in different markets. So ang mga farmers ani ni-accept ra sila whatever price that traders offers to them. So and the last one is the inadequate credit facilities. So mga Indian farmer being a poor tries to sell of the produce immediately after the crop is are harvested. True prices at that time are very slow. So next is the new regulated market is next is the market intermediaries. So ang middlemen or intermediaries are those individuals or business nga nagconcern sa specialized in performing various marketing functions and render services involved in marketing of goods. So, the number of intermediaries may vary from one to many. They may be classified into 5 groups as follows. Merchant, middleman. So, may merchant, merchant, middleman. Mani ang mga those are nga mga individuals who take title of the goods they handle. Then they buy and sell on their own and gain or lose depending upon the difference in the sale and purchase prices. Then ang mga merchant middlemen, they may offer loss with a fall in the price of the product. Then, so ang merchant middlemen has 4 types. So these are wholesalers, retailers, itinerant traders and village merchant, and masyakators. So miyon ta og wholesalers. Miyon tag wholesalers are those merchant middlemen who buy, sell, and sell agricultural commodities in large quantities. And also ang mga wholesalers, they may buy directly from farmers or from other wholesalers. And also, ang mga wholesalers, they do not sell significant quantities to ultimate consumers. Ang mga wholesalers, they own good owns for the storage of the produce. So next is the retailers. Mintag retailers, retailers buy goods from wholesalers and sell them to the consumers in a small quantities. In fact, ang kaning retailers mani ang pinaka-closest to consumers in the marketing channel. So, next is the itinerant traders and village merchants. So, itinerant traders are those merchants who move from village to village and directly purchase the produce from the cultivators. And also, mga itinerant traders, they transport it to the primary or secondary market and sell it there. So, and also, mga itinerant traders, they act as the financiers of poor farmers. They often visit nearby markets and keep in touch with the prevailing prices. Then, and the last one is the machacakors. It is a local term used for a big retailers or small wholesalers dealing in fruits and vegetables. In the other words, the machacakors are now working more likely ordinary retailers. So number 2 is agent middlemen. So may tag agent middlemen, these are ang agent middlemen kanto ning mga tao nga nag-act as a representatives of their client. But kaning mga agent middlemen, they do not take title to the produce and therefore they do not own it. Then in fact, ang mga agent middlemen, they receive income in the form of commission or brokerage. Then ang agent middlemen are of 2 types. Commission agents or arhatias and brokers. So miyon ta og commission agents or arhatias, muna siyang mga tao na it is a person operating in a wholesale market nga nag-act as a representative of either a seller or a buyer. And also, ang commission agent is normally takes over the physical handling of the produce, arranges for its sale, then collect the price from the buyer, and deduct his expenses and commission, and remits the balance to the seller. And also, ang mga commission agents or the arhatias, these sometimes provide the advance money to the farmers. So next is the brokers. So may tag brokers. Brokers is usually have no establishment in the market. They simply wander about in the market and render their services to clients. And also ang mga brokers, they do not render any other services except to bring buyers and sellers on the same platform. So number 3 is the speculative middlemen. So may tag speculative middlemen, those middlemen who take title to the product within a view to making a profit on it are called speculative middlemen. So kaning mga speculative middlemen, they are not regular buyer or seller of the produce, but they are specialized in risk taking. In fact, ang mga speculative middlemen, they buy at low prices when arrivals are substantial and sell in the off-season when prices are high. So, moto ang speculative middlemen. Then next is the processors. So, may tag processors. Processors carry on their business either on their own or on custom basis. Some processors employ agents to buy for them in the producing area, store the produce, and process it throughout the year on continuous basis. And also, kaning mga processors, they also engage in advertising activities to create a demand for their processed products. And the last one is the facilitative middlemen. So, mayroon tao facilitative middlemen. Some middlemen do not buy or sell directly but assist in the marketing process. These middlemen receive their income in the form of fees or service charged from those who use their services. So next is the market. So when we talk about market, so it is the place, so yung taog market, it is the place where buyers and sellers exchange their goods and services. Where in fact, ang market is nagikan siya sa Latin words nga marketos, which means merchandise or trade or a place where business is conducted. So, and in addition, yung tag market, so it is an area within which the forces of demand and supply converge to establish a single price. So, and lastly, yung tag market, a market exists when buyers wishing to exchange the money for a good or service and in the contact with the sellers who are willing to exchange goods or services for money. So next is the classification of markets. So markets may be classified on the basis of each of 12 dimension mentioned below. So number 1, on the basis of location. So on the basis of the place of location or operation, markets are of the following types. So village market. So mayroon taong village market, market which is located in a small village where major transaction takes place among the buyers and sellers of a village, and it is called village market. So next is the primary market. So mentag primary market, these are markets nga located in the towns near the centers of production of agricultural commodities. So, in these markets, ang major part of the produce brought for sale by the producer farmers themselves. So this transaction in these markets is usually takes place between farmers and the primary traders. Then letter C is that secondary wholesalers secondary wholesale market. So, secondary wholesale market, these markets are located generally at district headquarters or important trade centers or railway junctions. Then, and the last one, letter D is the terminal market. So, a terminal market is one where the produce is either finally disposed of the consumers or processors or assembled for export. So, kani nga markets, ang mga merchants are well organized and use modern methods of marketing. Commodity exchange exists in the markets which provide facilities of forward trading in the specific commodities. So, next, the last one is the seaboard market. So, may tag seaboard markets, mani ang market nga located near the seaboard and are meant mainly for the important and or export of goods are known as seaboard markets. So number 2, on the basis of area or coverage. On the basis of the area from which buyers and sellers usually come for transaction, markets may be classified into following four classes: local or village market, regional market, national markets, and world market. So, may tag local or village market, these are markets where ang buying o ang selling activities are confined among the buyers and sellers belonging to the same village or nearby villages. Then, ang regional market, mani ang market in which ang buyers and sellers for a commodity are drawn from a larger area than the local markets. Ang regional markets sa India is usually exist for food grains. So, next is the national market. So, mayroong tag national market, ang buyers ug ang sellers are spread at the national level. Then, ang letter D is world or international market. Mani ang market in which ang buyers ug ang sellers are drawn from more than one country or the whole world. So, this market exists in the commodities which have worldwide demand and or supply, such as coffee, machinery, and etc. So, number 3 is the on the basis of time span. So, on the basis markets are the following types: short period market and long period market. So, mayroon tag short period market. These markets are held only for a day or a few hours, are called short period markets. Ang mga examples ani nga short period markets such as mga fish, fresh vegetables, liquid milk, and etc. So, next is the periodic long period. Next is the long period market. So, may tag long period market. These markets are held for a longer period than the short period market. So, kani nga commodities traded in these markets are least perishable and can be stored for some time. So, for example, in long period market, man siya ang mga food grains and oil seeds. And next is the secular market. So, secular market, these are the markets for permanent nature. The commodities traded in these markets are durable in nature and can be stored for many years. Ang mga examples ani sa secular markets are markets for machinery and manufactured goods. Next, on the basis of number 4, on the basis of volume of transaction. So, there are two types of markets on the basis of volume of transaction, the whole markets and the retail market. So, may wholesale market. A wholesale market is one in which ang mga commodities are bought and sold in the large lots or in bulk. So, these markets can be further classified as primary, secondary, and terminal wholesale markets. Whereas ang retail markets, it is one in which commodities are sold to the consumers as per their requirements. So, transaction in this market takes place between retailers and the consumers. So number 5, on the basis of nature of transaction. So on the basis nature of transaction, the market which are based on the types of transactions in which people are engaged are of two types: the spot or cash market. So may tag spot or cash market, money ang market in which goods are exchanged with money immediately after the sale is called the spot or cash market. So letter B is the forward market. So may forward markets. These are the market in which the purchase and sale of a commodity takes place at time, but the exchange of commodity takes place on some special date in future. So number 6, on the basis of number of commodities in which transaction takes place, a market may be general or specialized on the basis of the number of commodities in which transactions are completed. The general market, and the last one is specialized market. So, general market is the market in which all types of commodities such as food grains, oilseed, fiber, and etc. are bought and sold is known as general market. And whereas a specialized market these are the market in which transaction takes place only in one or two commodities, and it is known as specialized markets. So number 7, on the basis of degree of competition. So on the basis of competition, markets may be classified into the following categories: perfect market. So may tag perfect market. A perfect market is one in which the following condition hold good. Then so next is the imperfect market. So may tag imperfect markets, mo ang markets in which ang condition of perfect competition are lacking. Our category are characterized as imperfect markets. The following situation, each based on the degree of imperfection, may be classified: monopoly market, duopoly market, oligopoly market, and the last one is monopolistic competition. So may tag monopoly market, it is market nga naay usa ka seller of a commodity. May napataog duopoly market. A duopoly market is one which has only two sellers of the commodity. Then the market situation in which there are only two buyers of a commodity is gitawag ni siya og duopsony market. Then next is the oligopoly market. So may tag oligopoly market, mo nga market in which there are more than few but still a few sellers of a commodity, o gitawag ni siya oligopoly market. Then and the last one is monopolistic market competition. Yung tawag monopolistic market competition when a large number of sellers deal in heterogeneous and differentiated form of a commodity. The situation is gitawag siya og monopolistic competition. So number 8, on the basis of natural commodities. So on the basis of the type of goods dealt in, markets may be classified into the following categories: commodity markets and the capital market. So tag commodity market is the market which deals with the goods and raw materials such as wheat, barley, cotton, and etc. are termed as a commodity market. Ug mayon tag capital market, this market in which bonds, shares, and securities are bought and sold are called capital market. Examples: money market and share market, and etc. Number 9, on the basis of stage of marketing. So On the basis of the stage of marketing, markets may be classified into two categories, the producing markets and the last one is consuming markets. Ang producing markets, those markets which mainly assemble the commodity for further distribution to other markets are termed as producing markets. Whereas ang consuming markets, these markets which collect the produce for final disposal to the consuming population o gitawag kini og consumer markets. And number 10, on the basis of type of population served. Number 10, number 10, the basis of extent of public intervention. So based on the extent of public intervention, markets may be placed in any one of the following two classes, the regulated markets and unregulated markets. So may regulated market, these are those markets in which business is done in accordance with the rules and regulations. Whereas ang unregulated or informally regulated markets and unregulated markets, business is conducted without any set rules and regulation. And number 10, on the basis of type of population served. So on the basis of population served by a market, it can be classified either urban or rural market. So may tag urban market, amo ni ang market which serve mainly the population residing in the urban area o gitawag kini og urban market. Then ang rural market mo ni the world rural market, this usually refers to the demand originating from the rural population. So next is on the basis of accrual of marketing markets. On the basis of us two who are the market functionary are to whom the market margin, ako market may be classified as market farmers, cooperative market, and general market. So next is the market structure, conduct, and performance. So mintag market structure, it refers to the organization characteristic of a market in which influence the nature of competition and pricing. And also ang market structure affect the conduct of business firms. Yung mga taog structure, it refers to something that has organization and dimensions, shape, size, and designs. And addition, the market structure, it refers to those characteristics of the market which affect the traders' behavior and their performance. So next is the market conduct. So may tag market conduct, nag-refers ni siya sa patterns of behavior of firms, especially in the relation to the pricing and their practices in adapting and adjusting to the market in which they functions. Whereas ang market performance, nag-refer ni siya sa economic results that flow from the industry as each firm pursues its particular type of product. So that's the end of my presentation, and thank you and God bless.